All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a story about a problem so incredibly tough that it was, and I mean literally impossible for any human to solve. Just let that sink in for a second. Imagine a challenge so complex that the smartest people on Earth, the absolute best in their field, just couldn't crack it. Not a single one. And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This actually happened at a real-world championship for coders, a massive showdown of the planet's brightest programming minds. Okay, so let's set the scene here. We need to understand just how massive this challenge really was. You've got to understand, the ICPC, the International Collegiate Programming Contest, this is basically the Olympics for programmers. We're talking about the absolute elite. These teams can solve mind-bendingly complex problems on a tight deadline. They are, without a doubt, the best of the best. And this is the problem that brought them all to a grinding halt. It was just called Problem C. Simple name, ridiculously complex task. Picture a massive network of pipes and reservoirs. Your job, figure out the absolute perfect setting for every single duct, is it open, closed, somewhere in between, to fill everything up in the most efficient way possible. The number of combinations wasn't just big, it was practically infinite. So how many of these genius teams actually solved it? You ready for this? Zero. A big fat zero. Not one. Given the time they had, it was, for all intents and purposes, unsolvable by a human mind. But the story doesn't end there. Not by a long shot. Because you see, there was a new player in the game. A different kind of competitor, just waiting for its turn. And that competitor was Google DeepMind's Gemini 2.5. This advanced AI was given the exact same problem, the one that had just completely stumped the best human programmers on the planet. So what's the big deal with Gemini 2.5? What makes it so different? Well, it's not just about raw speed. This thing is capable of really deep, multi-step reasoning. It has this massive working memory. We're talking a 2 million token context window, so it can juggle a ton of data at once. Plus, it understands text, images, you name it. To put it simply, it just thinks in a completely different way. And that different way of thinking, well, it led to something pretty historic. And experts were watching, and they immediately got how huge this was. This wasn't just about winning some contest. No, this was a clear demonstration of advanced abstract reasoning, the kind of thinking that's absolutely vital for things like scientific discovery and engineering breakthroughs. So you're probably wondering, how did it actually do it? Well, first, it used something called game theory. The easiest way to think about this is like a chess grandmaster. They're not just thinking about their next move, right? They're thinking 10 moves ahead. Gemini did something similar. It strategically figured out which parts of the problem were the most critical to solve first. Next up, it used a technique called dynamic programming. Okay, stick with me here. This is like tackling a giant 5,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. You wouldn't just stare at the whole pile of pieces, right? No, you'd find the corners, build the edges, put together little sections, and then connect them. That's exactly what Gemini did. It broke this impossibly huge problem down into smaller, manageable chunks that it could solve. So if you put it all together, here's the game plan. Step 1, prioritize. It used game theory to figure out where to even begin. Step 2, strategize. It mapped out the whole attack. Step 3, optimize. It used these incredibly advanced searches to find the perfect settings for every little detail. And finally, step 4, solve. It delivered the final perfect answer. And the time it took, get this, under 30 minutes. Okay, so here's the really crucial part. This is so much bigger than just one coding competition. What does something like this actually mean for all of us, in the real world? I mean, think about it. An AI that can solve problems that are literally unsolvable for humans? That has some pretty profound implications. What we're seeing here is a sneak peek into a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a powerful partner in solving some of our planet's biggest challenges. And you know what? This future is getting here a lot faster than you might think. Just look at manufacturing. Right now, more than half of all manufacturers are already using AI in some way. This isn't some far-off theory anymore. It's happening as we speak. So where else could this kind of problem-solving power be used? Well, let your imagination run with us for a second. Think about healthcare. We're not just talking about finding a new drug, but about sorting through an insane number of molecular combinations to find the one single best one. Or logistics, optimizing an entire global supply chain, not just one delivery route. It's the same kind of logic from that coding problem, just scaled up to tackle the complex systems that run our world. And for the companies that are really leading the charge with AI, the benefits go way beyond just cutting costs. They're seeing huge jumps in productivity and are even creating entirely new ways to make money. It's becoming clear that AI is a massive, massive competitive advantage. Which brings us to the really big picture. What does all of this mean for us, for our future, living alongside this kind of technology? Well, there's not a lot of debate on this one. A staggering 94% of business leaders believe AI is absolutely critical for success going forward. So you see, the question isn't if AI is going to shape our future anymore. The real question is how. And that how is probably the most important question of all. Because on one side, you've got this incredible promise, right? Solving humanity's biggest problems, sparking innovation, making us all more creative. But on the other side, well, we have some really serious questions to tackle. Things like safety, accuracy, who's in charge, and what this all means for jobs and for society as a whole. You know, Gemini 2.5 was given a problem, and it found the one single perfect answer. But the path forward for us? That's not a math problem. There's no single correct solution. It's going to involve our choices, our values, our vision for the future. The AI found its answer. The real question is, what will ours be?